Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. It's Whip It Wednesday for Wednesday, September 19th, 2018. So if you want to see what's under the sewing machine needle this week, please stay tuned. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who saw the gifted stash I received and gave me some tips about how to use the fabric and what to do to get it organized. I got some amazing tips, including making aprons or pot holders, things like that, using that fabric for charity quilts, which is always a great idea. Also making things like dog mats or dog beds to go in animal shelters, lap quilts for nursing homes. All those are great ideas and definitely things for me to consider and think about. I do right now currently have my no new projects vow to myself because I got a lot of things that need to be finished. But who knows? I will try my best to do that, but we'll see how my vow works out. One of the things that I've been working on has been my Bargello quilt. If you're interested in the Heartbeat Bargello quilt along, we're doing that right now on YouTube, and we have a Facebook group. So if you're interested, go ahead and get your pattern and start sewing along with us. After this month, I'm going to make the Facebook group private because I feel like now it's starting to get into the really good stuff. And if you tried to catch up, I feel like it would be too difficult to be on the same page with us if you're just starting now. The videos will still go up on YouTube, of course, but the Facebook group itself will be private. So you wouldn't be able to submit pictures to enter for prizes. So if you're interested, go ahead and join now before the end of September so that you can be eligible to win prizes when you post your pictures of your progress on the quilt. All right, so let me show you my strip set. I only have the one left. I may have to stand. This is my last one because all the other ones are being prepared for the next step. So I won't show the next step yet because that video is still in the process of being edited, but it's coming up at the end of the month. Another thing that I got was some questions about how to design a Bargello quilt or how to draw out a quilt design on graph paper. So I'm going to be making a video about that soon. So if you're interested, please stay tuned to my channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get some information when that video comes out. The only other thing that I've been working on this week has been my dress and plate quilt and getting it quilted. Someone asked if I would show some close-ups of my quilting, and I will. I'm not an expert quilter by any means, but I'm using the Angela Walters Free Motion Quilting Along, and so I'll put a link to that in the description. And each week there are different assignments. And so I'll just show you where I am right now. The quilting along is, it's maybe a few months old, but I wanted to wait until I finish this dress and plate quilt top and use that to help me figure out some ideas to quilt it. So I'm going to turn the camera around so that we can see the actual quilting, and I'll talk about it as we look at the quilt. So here's the first block that I quilted with this quilt along. I've done free motion quilting before, so I kind of have a little bit of experience with it, but I just needed some more ideas to add to a quilt. And for this, the first video, the actual assignments, there are like 2 assignments. One is the meander, so I did a meander here. And then the other one was the echo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do one pattern in the big block and then a different pattern here in the smaller block and then in the actual plate. So I echoed inside the actual plate for the echo, and then I did the meander. This was just something that I was kind of thinking about doing, so I did it. I actually quilted with my feed dogs up, and I don't know if that's common. I just do it because then I don't have to worry about the tension. Okay, so this is the first block that I quilted. The second block that I quilted, I have to go down a little bit. The second video was about continuous curve quilting. And so I continuous curved inside the block here on the actual Dresden plate. The other part was about motifs, using continuous curve in a motif. So I made like these little flowers in the corners of the gray block. And then she does something called dot to dot quilting, and I just kind of interpreted it my own way because I hadn't seen the video yet, because it's not actually along with the continuous curve. So I kind of did my own thing right here, but I think I got a nice little outline for the pattern for the gray block by using that that variation of dot to dot quilting. All right, and there's one more. I have to move the quilt, and then I'll show you the last block that I tried. So this has been my favorite block so far, because I tried two new things. One, I put my stitch length at 0, which caused a tension issue, but I ended up just adjusting my tension from a 4 to a 7 on my machine, and that really helped. The outside design is just, I don't know, I just kind of made it up, going back and forth along the edge of the gray block and creating this kind of straight line pattern. All right, and then the video for this block included the leafy meander, which is a new pattern that I had never tried before. And then the inside of the wedges, that's actual dot to dot quilting. And what she does is it creates wedges. And so I used the Dresden plate and created wedges inside there. Really cool. And I connected them. I traveled, and so I kind of have a little outline of the circle. As of right now, I don't know what to do about these circles because they're pretty thick. So I don't know if I'm going to quilt them at all or if I'm going to try anything. If you have some ideas about what to do about the centers of these circles, please put them in the comments because I need some help. So I'm really excited about this. There is one problem on the back, or probably several problems on the back, because of the way that I pinned. Since I pin basted, let me see if I can flip it over. I hope you didn't see some of that mess over there. Let me flip it over, and then I'll show you what my issue is. Here's the back of the quilt, and I pin basted, and when I use pins to baste, I should pull it tight as I go along, but I didn't. And what you can see here is where there's going to be some little funkiness in the quilting back here. It's going to be like a big huge fold. I'm going to try not to stress about that, but I know that it's going to show up in other areas of the quilt. But here's some of the quilting on the back. I'm going to turn so you can see the other parts. And I love it. And the tension, once I adjusted it, the tension isn't bad at all. So, and this is the Scrappy quilt back. If you've seen the video about the Scrappy quilt back, if not, I'll link it here too so you can see it. You probably can't see the quilting there, not much of it anyway. But let me go down a little bit. I'm using a light gray on the back of this for the whole thing, but I'm varying the front. I'm using some dark gray or on the actual Dresden plates, but in the big squares, it depends on what color the quilting or the fabric is. But I really like the way this is turning out. If you're interested in that quilting along, I'll link it, or I'll put a link in the description so that you can check it out. And I will keep working on this quilt. So this is it for WIP It Wednesday for September 19th. If you have any questions about any video that you saw today, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks again to people who have suggested ideas for videos. I will be working on those per your request. Don't forget to join the Heartbeat Bargello Quilt Along if you're interested. and submit your pictures to the Facebook group. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Bye.